Hey friends, we're back. We're going to get ready to give this drum a wet sand on this lacquer finish. It's been drying about, 3 days, I guess. I've had some other things going on and thought I'd let it really take, and it just needs a light sand, so I'm going to go over it with a 500 grit wet sand, and just put it in the water here, and you get your little block. Got this sanding block thing, and you get that at Home Depot. Just wrap it around there and go over the shell like this and block it out, and then kind of keep wetting it, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see, you'll start seeing the shine go away, and when you see it pretty much with a sanded look and no more shine, you know you've got the orange peel out of it. So you can kind of see that it's a very even finish around there, whereas right there on the edge you can see that shine. See? So you're trying to get rid of all the shine and just an even sand around there. So let me work on that a little bit and I'll be right back. So if you look closely at this, I don't know if you can see it, that's the problem. But, oh, you see that little shine there right in the middle of the screen? That's a low spot in the finish. So if you want, you can go down lower, but we don't want to go through the coat of lacquer, because you'll change the look of the stain. So you can shoot it with another coat of lacquer, and then as you wet sand it and you want to get those completely out, you'll slowly get those out. So that's the best way to do that. Okay, let's hit it with a few more coats of this lacquer. Looking pretty good. Got a nice little shine to it. Hit it a couple more times, huh? You know, one of the good things of living here in a really hot environment like Phoenix is that your lacquer just dries right as soon as it hits, just about. It's about maybe about 102 or 3 outside. Let's hit it a few more times. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that gleam. She's looking real good now. Nothing like a beautiful lacquer finish, is it? Boy, look at that. So let's just see how that does. And we'll give it a couple days of drying and let that clear coat shrink, and then maybe we'll hit it with some 500 again and go over it again a couple more times. But there she is. She's looking nice. Well guys, it's a new day, and you saw I was spraying the shell yesterday, and I thought I had it, and then of course it had time to shrink because it's hot here all the time, and lacquer shrinks up pretty good, and I decided to hit it with 500 to get out all the low spots. And I felt like I still wanted to hit it with another coat of lacquer, so that's what I've done. I sanded it, I block sanded it with 500 this morning, and I've put on 2 or 3 nice coats of the lacquer. As you can see, it's doing real well. We'll see how it looks in the morning, because when this stuff shrinks up, it can look completely different. So that's the story on that. It looks good at this point. Now what I'm doing in the meantime is I'm taking all my lugs and buffing them out on my buffer with rouge, and this is what they look like before I work on them, and this is what they look like now after I buff them. So as you can see, I got a lot of parts to do, so this takes some time, but we'll get to it just a little at a time, right? Anything for our beloved old drums. So I'll bring you back when I've made some progress. I thought I'd show you guys a little bit about how I buff these parts. Just start with these lugs. I got these 8-inch wheels on here. Take this white rouge, rub it on your wheel here, and then you just get your part, and don't want to hold it on there too long, because you can go right through the plating. But just trying to get that oxidation off there, basically, and go around it real good. And you know, you look at that side, and then you look at this side. It's a completely different part. So you got to hold on tight, because these wheels will pull that thing right away from you. So that's how we do it. Well, howdy there. Well, we're back on the old drum, and look at it. It's coming back to life. Got all the lugs on it. I'm happy with the finish. Put the badge on. I used the old grommet. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this thing perfect. I'm not trying to take away the history of it. I just used the grommet, and actually it was a grommet that I had and badge that I had. This drum didn't come with a badge, but I'm sure it was a cloud badge. I've polished all the parts really well. Let's see, I've installed the butt plate. There she is. Covers up some of the cosmetic blemishes. Looks pretty nice all the way around. So what I'm doing right now is, there's the badge. Straightened it out as good as I could. Not trying to hide anything, just trying to make this drum a worker. Anyway, I put the strainer together, and it wasn't screwing down, bringing the loom up. And so what I did was I took the knob here off of the screw, and I chased the threads with a 1032 die. I also chased the threads with a tap. And so if you don't know how to do this, I'll show you how to take the thumb screw, the thumb dealie off of the screw part. Just one second. Okay, so I'm reinstalling the turn knob on this. I've put the screw section into the vise with these wooden jaws so it won't hurt anything. And I'm just going to tap on here and get it back in there as much as I think I need it. You don't want them tight. You want this loose. You don't want this you want this section to still be a little bit loose, so it'll turn. So it's seated down there real good. And if you want to know how to take these off, you can just get yourself a claw hammer or something, and you can pull it in there and give it a little yank, and it'll come right off of there. You could put some tape in there if you want, but this fit pretty good, and it didn't really make any marks. I think this had been taken off before, so no big deal. So that's how you take those off. And now I'm going to be ready to put it back together, so I'll come right back. Okay, so I put that screw back in there, and look at that, it just turns like butter. And that's what you want. You don't want this thing binding. It was binding really bad. And so when I chased all the threads, oh, it's just working so well now. And that's how you get some good action on this. I haven't put the handle on yet because I'm going to be putting the heads on and everything. So that throw off should be working pretty good now. And I found all the tension rods. These are, I don't know what the length they are on these. There looks like about 2 1/4, looks like to me. And they're, well, I've polished everything. I had all these rods. These are real authentic 20s 30s Slingerland Radio King rods, or pre-Radio King even. So this is what they were using. I polished all these, and we've got to get to these hoops now, and that'll be about it for this drum. We'll put it back together and give it a test run. So I've got the handle all as good as I could get it. As you can see, it says Slingerland, and that's going to be nice on there. So I'll get right back with you. I'm going to polish these hoops. Hey guys, if you want to make your tension rods work like butter, you take yourself a 1224 tap, and you go into all of your tube lugs and clean them out. Look at that thread in there, man. It's all cleaned up. Beautiful. Then between, sorry about this, between, I want to clean it off with some brake cleaner. And then be ready to rock and roll on the next one. Don't do it too fast because you don't want to cross thread it. That's what I do on that. And then on your tension rods, get yourself a 1224 die and run all your tension rods through the die and clean them up. I'm telling you, your rods are going to work like butter. Okay? So that's what I do, and there won't be any binding, and your tension will be like much more even on your drum. Okay, so that's what I do there. Okay, she's coming together, guys. I've got that top hoop on. Like I said, it's not in the greatest shape. Oh, I wanted to clear up something that I said earlier when I was telling you about this hoop. This is a double flange hoop, not a triple flange. So you guys are probably going to stomp on me about that one, but it's a double flange. So there's that one, and I wanted to just tell you, after I clean those rods, I put, well, there she is. She's got the bottom hoop on her, and like I said, I had this top hoop. That's the correct one. And this bottom hoop is probably more of a Leedy or Ludwig from the same period, but it doesn't have that extra flange to cover up the flesh hoop. Anyway, that's okay. It works the same, and now it's time to select some snares. Be right back. Okay, we got this thing all tuned up and looking great. I think it sounds pretty good now, and we'll take it for a little spin.